The title of today's lesson is Writing Fractions as Percents. A percent is actually a fraction with a denominator of 100. Instead of writing the denominator 100, we write a percent sign. So, 25 hundredths actually equals 25%. Look at example number 1. Write 3 100ths as a percent. So whenever your denominator is already 100, you can simply write the numerator as a percent. 3%. Example number 2. Write 3/10 as a percent. Here we're going to show you a way to, when the denominator is not 100, how to change it into a percentile. So here I've set up an equation, and I have 3/10 equals something over 100. So we're going to cross multiply. 3 times 100 equals 300. And 10 times x equals 10x. So our new equation is 10x equals 300. Now we need to isolate the variable. In order to do that, on the left-hand side, we'll divide by 10. And on the right-hand side, we'll also divide by 10. Our 10's cancel out here. We're left with x equals 30. So our answer is 30%. Now you may have realized already that 3/10 is 30%, but you also need to understand the procedure of how to change it into a percentile. Example number 3. What percent is equal to 1? So when we have the number 1, it's actually 1.0, or 1 out of 1, which does in fact equal 100%, or 1 whole. Example number 4. Same procedure, but now we have a word problem to accompany it. Of the 30 students who took the test, 15 earned A's. What percent of the students earned A's? So we'll set up our proportion. 15 out of 30 earned A's. So we're trying to figure out the x here over 100, our total. So we'll do some cross multiplying again. We have 30x equals 15 times 100, and 1,500. Now we're going to work on isolating the variable. So we'll divide both sides by 30. By 30. We can cancel here. We end up with x equals, we can take off a 0. So we have 150 divided by 3. X equals 50%. Again, you probably already knew that 15/30 was equal to 50%, but understanding the procedure of how to get that is even more important. You'll see what I mean on the next sample. Example number 5. Example number 5. At a sale, shirts were sold for $15 each. This was 80% of their original price. What was the original price? So in this case, we do have the percentage, which is 80 over 100. And we do have how much the shirt was on sale, but we don't know the cost of the shirt, the original cost. So this time we're going to figure out the original cost. So we'll do some cross multiplying again. We end up with 80x equals 1,500. And then we can start isolating the variable. And take off a 0 there. This side we end up with x. I'll do my math over here. 8 goes into 15 once. 8 goes into 78 times. We'll have to bring down another 0. 8 goes into 67 times. And down another 0. And 8 goes into 45 times. So the original cost of the shirt was $18.75. On to practice. Solve A, B, and C. Pause the video, come back when you're ready. Alright, let's see how you did. Letter A, write 3/50 as a percent. 3 over 50 equals x over 100. You cross multiply, you end up with 50x equals 300. Divide by 50 to isolate your variable. And then do some canceling here, and you end up with x equals 6. Second one, 7/25 equals x over 100. Cross multiply, you get 25x equals 700. Divide by 25. Cancel out your 25s. And you have 700 divided by 25. So x equals 28. Our last one. This one was really tough. The first thing you needed to understand is we're looking for the games that they lost. So the first calculation would be 75 minus 55 to give you the games that they lost. So if you didn't do that, pause the video and try to solve it again and then come back. Alright, so we know that they lost 20 games. So 20 out of the total 75 equals something over 100. Cross multiply. You can actually simplify 20/75 first. That might be easier, so let's do that. They're both divisible by 5. 5 goes into 24 times, and 5 goes into 75 15 times. And we end up with this new proportion. Now we can cross multiply. Either way, you'll get the right answer, even if you didn't simplify first. 15x equals 400. Divide by 15. Divide by 15. $15 goes into 40 twice. Then you have 15 goes into 106 times. Bring down a 0. 15 goes into 106 times. Bring down a 0. And you can see that it's going to repeat itself over and over again. And the problem said round to the nearest tenth. So if we have 26.66, here's our tenths. Our answer would be 26.7%. Give yourself a star if you completed it.